એની ઉપર વધુ ચર્ચા કરવા હવે આપણી સાથે XM.com ના CEO Peter McGuire પણ જોડાઈ રહ્યા છે. Peter, good morning. How do you read the recent movement in crude? What's your call now?
Well, good morning, Pradeep. I think, it's just been an enormous downdraft, and when you're thinking about what we've experienced over the last 6 to 7 weeks, it's been absolutely astounding. The market is taking a little bit of a wake-up call. The severity of the fall is nothing short of monstrous, and all the bears are all over it. Hedge funds and traders are rejoicing. I think it's been an enormous trade to the downside if you've been a speculator. Producers are getting a wake-up call, and I think you've got a very, very happy President Trump of what he's been able to achieve, and OPEC meeting next Thursday in Vienna on the 6th of December. I'll be heading to that. I think they've got their work cut out what happens between now and then.
So what's your reading? I mean, on the one side, we have been hearing of some kind of cuts in production quota, but on the other hand, today I think the market report suggests that actually Saudi Arabia has produced more than what was expected, and their stock is actually going up. So what's really happening?
And by the sounds of it, so is Russia's, and so is America. So if there's any shortfalls, the world seems to be awash with oil. Last Thursday, I went to the International Energy Agency in Paris. Fascinating when you're thinking about it. We've broken 100 million barrels a day as far as daily consumption. And their forecast moving forward, 19 is going to be a little bit less in the sense of that global growth. But there is no shortage as far as producers. Now, we would have expected those Iran sanctions to bite by now internally in Iran. That really hasn't been the case. They've been a very soft sanction. And I think that where it's moving forward, we're going to see further push to the downside by a couple of dollars. Now, it was interesting to see. You saw the Dow up last night, good recovery. You saw the S&P up, well up, bid up, and so was the Nasdaq. Yet, you've seen that push to the downside as far as crude. Friday, it got smashed 7% or 8% to the downside. I mean, I think that took everyone by surprise, and it's going to be interesting how it plays out this week.
So what kind of range do you really see? You mentioned there could be a couple of dollars more of downside here in crude. Is it possible really to come out with a range, or you think it's still trying to find the level and it can go as low as $30 or $25 that we had seen before?
Well, I don't think you're going to see that predict this time round. I think there's too many reasons why. I don't feel as though we're in a terrible economic situation. I think overall we're doing okay. Inflation's under control. There's, what's happening as far as Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Will he have a rate rise in December? I think that's on the card very much so. It's 80-95% complete. What happens next year is going to be fascinating as far as how many rate rises for the Fed. But the big thing as far as crude pricing, I think you're going to see a Brent dollar at 56, 57 to the downside. WTI probably $46 to $48 trading range. And then when they come out with the announcement on the OPEC, normally at about 5 p.m. in Vienna on the Thursday of the meeting, then it normally whipsaws. So you'll see Friday, the trade will be, Thursday night will be strong in New York. Friday will be strong in the sense where it'll bounce, I think, by probably 6 or 7%. And then it'll certainly, range bound over that next week. That's normally how it runs. So if you're a trader out there, you want to make some money. If you're shorting at the moment, I think there's further downside, and I think from the upside going to be Thursday week when the announcement comes out.
So what's your base case in terms of outcome from the Vienna meet?
I think, first off, they've got to try and get some solidarity across OPEC and see what's going on, because it's been so heavily hit. It was only 2-3 months ago. Everyone was saying, is it an $85 to $100 trade? Now it's half price. So it's really a reality check, and I think that there's got to be some sort of framework across the body of OPEC to say, right, this is what we're expecting as far as production cuts, this is what we're expecting as far as growth numbers, this is what we're expecting as far as price. They've got a little bit of a helping hand with the strength of the US dollar. It's been very, very strongly bid over the last, say, 6 to 7 months, that US dollar index, and you guys have felt it here as far as the Indian rupee. So that certainly has given some comfort as far as US dollar price, and I think there's further upside there. That US dollar index, I wouldn't be surprised to take a 98 or 99 handle out if we see that rate rise by Fed Chair Jerome Powell sometime in December.
So one last question, what if there is no production cut?
If there's no production cut, I think you're going to see softer crude prices. I think you'll see WTI sub 45. I think Brent will be a $55 trade. And I don't think that that's what OPEC wants. That's really the framework at the moment. They want to see a higher price naturally. And I still think that Saudi Aramco IPO is on the cards in 19 or 20. I don't think that's gone away. The issues at hand is that they need to raise capital. And they know they've got a wonderful asset, and I think that they'll try and, take on board some horsepower, and it may be, it's still going to be the largest IPO in history. So I think that's why they want a stronger crude price.
Thanks a lot, Peter, for taking time out.
Thank you, Nisha.
પીટર મેકવાયર XM.comના CEO જે રીતે એમણે જણાવ્યું કે અત્યારે માર્કેટની પરિસ્થિતિઓને જોતા કદાચ હજુ પણ કાચા તેલમાં ઘટાડો આવી શકે $56 ને $46 લેવલની જે રીતે એમણે ચર્ચા કરી. એમને લાગે છે કે 6 ડિસેમ્બરના જે વિયેનામાં ઓપેક દેશોની એક બેઠક થવાની છે એમાં પ્રોડક્શન પર કાપ મૂકવાનો પ્રપોઝલ આવશે. ત્યારબાદ કદાચ ક્રૂડ એક પોતાની નવી રેન્જ ડિસ્કવર કરે. એ નવી રેન્જ પછી $45 થી $50, $55 થી $60 એવી કદાચ કંઈક હોઈ શકે, અથવા પછી આગળ જતા જે રીતે જેટલો કાપ મૂકવામાં આવે, જેટલો કમ્પ્લાયન્સ હોય એની ઉપર ડિપેન્ડ કરશે. પણ એમને નથી લાગતું કે આ કાપ ન થાય એમ આપણે માનવું જોઈએ. એના કોઈ કારણ નથી. એક્શન ઓપેકને લેવું જ પડશે, કારણ કે ભાવ ખાસા નીચે આવી ગયા છે. તો એના લીધે થોડુંક મને લાગે છે કે ભાવને સપોર્ટ મળી રહેશે. આપણે જે ગઈકાલે એક ઉછાળો જોયું નીચલી સપાટીથી, એની પાછળ પણ એ જ કારણ દેખાય છે, કેમ કે બજારે માનીને ચાલી રહ્યું છે કે 6 ડિસેમ્બરના કંઈક તો એક્શન થશે.
પણ એ ભલે કાંઈ પણ ડિસિઝન હોય, અત્યારનો સમય આપણા માટે સારો છે. આટલા દિવસ જે આપણને મળ્યા છે ઘટાડાના, એને આપણે સાચવવું જોઈએ, ને એના લીધે આપણે આગળ જતા આરબીઆઈ મીટમાં પણ એની ઇમ્પેક્ટ આવી જોઈએ. તો આ બધી ખબરોની આજના દિવસ પર કેટલી અસર થઈ શકે એના પર કરી ચર્ચા એક નાનકડા વિરામ બાદ.